afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the Guardian Ad Litem 17th Circuit Communicast. My name is Dina Wilson. I'll be your host, and with me today is Laura Astowitz, the CEO of KidSafe Foundation. Laura, welcome.
Thank you very much, Adina, for having me. I really appreciate you doing this and showcasing other uh, foundations and other partners that work with children, because I think GAL is one of the gold standards for volunteering to really take care of our youth. So
Well,
I
thank you.
appreciate.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Now, you and I were talking, and you have kind of an interesting journey to your position now. So, why don't you tell us how you came to KidSafe Foundation and what you do there?
So, KidSafe Foundation was doing quite well without me for around a decade, and educating children. It was founded by Cherie Ben Joseph and Sally Behrensweig, both with clinical backgrounds in taking care of children, and the horrible statistics made them create a program to try to help kids. I have a background in widgets, anything profit. And I met Cherie and loved what they do. I knew Sally personally as well, and gave them a year. I said, I'm not a nonprofit girl. I'm not your girl. I don't do that. But I'll help you because I do help small businesses grow versus get bigger. And I love what you do. So I'll come on board and give you a year. So it's been 4 years and I'm now CEO. And I hear that's the main story of nonprofit people, that it's like a little latch on your leg and you don't get out the door. Can't leave. I can't imagine selling a widget now unless it helps children. So that's where we
Wonderful.
are.
Wonderful. So let's talk about what KidSafe Foundation does. You deal a lot with child sexual abuse.
That's
Why don't you
it.
tell me a
So
little bit about that?
absolutely. The KidSafe mission is to teach personal safety to children and their grown-ups to create strong, resilient families and safer communities. That's it in a nutshell. If our vision could be shared by everyone, it would be a world where all kids are safe from sexual abuse and childhood trauma. We go out into the community and educate through awareness and actual skill sets to help children and families and caregivers keep our kids safe.
Now, when I was younger, and probably when you were younger, the big thing in keeping children safe was teaching. They taught us about stranger danger and not to take rides from men in white vans and whatnot. Um, has that changed?
It it has. We still encourage the teaching of safety around strangers, and it does factor into our lessons, but it's also an area that parents are comfortable teaching their own kids. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it is the truth. We do not want strangers to hurt our children. And number two, it is the easiest thing for parents to talk about. It is hard to how do you teach a child that someone you know and trust could hurt you? You really can't prep for that, except with some of the general skills that we teach in KidSafe. It has changed a lot, and we're appreciative that parents are starting to recognize that change. But I still am amazed when I go out into the community how many parents don't know some of the statistics.
So with that and this crazy pandemic era that we're living in, and a lot of kids are at home all the time, has that affected the statistics?
It has, and this is a great thing to talk about in general. If we go back to some of just the standard pre-COVID statistics, we know that about 1 in 4 girls and anywhere between 1 in 6 and 1 in 10 boys will be sexually abused by the time they're 18. That's the
Wow.
report. That's it, and that's the reported cases. At least 38% of us, because it's all of us as a community, children don't tell. I would say that if you go out to dinner with 3 or 4 of your girlfriends and y'all are close enough or comfortable enough to start talking about it, I bet 3 have a story of where they have felt either powerless or uncomfortable with a sexual situation. It's much higher than that. And since 90% of the time children are harmed by someone they know and trust, and 60% of the time it's a family member, COVID immediately then lets you know that we're very concerned about what's happening with children right now. They are not out where some of their safe zones are, whether it was school. And by the way, school is an important safe zone. Over 25% of reporting occurs when the child is at school, or even aftercare where they feel empowered and they have a voice, or some of their extra activities. They're not there. They're at home. And we will only find out in when things open up of what has happened to children during this time.
Assuming we've seen a decline in the number of reported cases because the children are at home. Is that correct?
That is totally correct. And uh, it's funny because moving the needle often means that you change the statistics in most nonprofits and you reduce the statistics. And while we want the number of children that are harmed reduced, there's going to be a time where we are still saying we want the number of reporting to go up. We want the stats reported to go up. And I can't think of a lot of nonprofits where that's the goal to moving the needle. Obviously, once the reporting becomes more widespread, then we can deal with the number going back down. But yes, what we're going to see post-COVID is crazy. And reporting's always been an issue. It's been an issue for children because of lack of skills, which is what we teach, lack of correct words. We urge parents through our website and parent seminars to start by being comfortable with the proper names of body parts, because it has been studied and proven that predators move on from a child that uses the correct body part name, because that's a child that's confident, less vulnerable, and is talking to grown-ups.
Some of the other programs that you offer.
Great. So the cornerstone of KidSafe has always been children have to understand that they have a right to safety. They have to be given the tools how to describe their own safety, how to know. I come from a trauma-filled background, and one of the hardest challenges for children is knowing when something's not normal or right. We teach that in our programming, and that they have a circle of safe adults to go to report. At the same time, adults need to learn the same language their children are being taught. They need to understand what being available is. And if we have time, I'll talk about that later. And caregivers, professional child serving professionals need to know their role in not just reporting, which, like you said, mandated reporting is important, but also what they're modeling. We're always wanting to remember that we're modeling children to be safe around others. Not most of the child serving professionals, most of them would never hurt a child, but they don't understand their own responsibility in modeling a safety with boundaries for kids so that someone else doesn't hurt them. So KidSafe for Kids has always been in the schools teaching children all the skills they need: safe touch versus unsafe touch, bad secret versus a good secret, circle of safe adults, the cornerstone of what we teach. And at the same time, we've taught parent seminars, which we've now moved to online education. You can go on our website and get small videos and tips. And we have educator e-learns. We have customized seminars for any child serving professionals, which we've taught GAL in the past, and are happy to do more and work with anyone with GAL. So everything that we can to teach children and their grown-ups to know how to stay safe.
That is fantastic. And if people want more information, why don't you give us your phone number, your website?
Absolutely. Our website is www.kidsafefoundation.org. That's one F in KidSafe. And they can call our office phone anytime at 561-237-3004. And info@kidsafefoundation.org is a great way to get in touch with us for seminars, to bring our KidSafe programming into your school. If you have a general questioning, because parenting is hard and there's 42 million survivors out there just trying to do good by their children. Wow. We're here to help.
Laura, thank you very much. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to check out theguardian at litem.org. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.